Hi guys, I hope you're all well. Today we're going to be continuing to work on the Congo, although we are going to be doing more of a mini project that we'll cover today as well as Monday. And then we'll wrap up with the Congo on Wednesday. Um, at this point, you have seen all the terrible things that King Leopold II has done. And now, after last activity, you are aware that even after independence, the Congo is in sad shape. It's in terrible condition, just not a free place to live. And continuously, the people there are very poor. All the wealth is drained from them, and Europeans or their corrupt leaders are the ones who are gaining benefits from the Congo. So, what we're going to be doing today and Monday is basically doing an activity that would have normally been a mock trial. Now, you can't do a mock trial just because of the distance learning, but you are going to write a script and then you're going to perform it. Mock trials, if you've ever seen them, they're basically take the form of a trial, right? So if you've seen any crime show, whether it was Law and Order or basically anything that has, a witness stand with a lawyer, that's the sort of dialogue that you're going to be creating. Today's activity will be just to create the script that will be done alone individually. And then on Monday, you'll get instructions for how to perform your script. And that you're going to have a little bit more options as far as potentially working with somebody else. Can also be done alone, in which case you can be both the lawyer and the witness, or you can even grab a family member and have them be one of the people. Your choice. And again, I'll give you more descriptions as to what can be done on Monday when that part of the activity is being assigned. But today it's just a script. Let me get up for you the activity and I'll walk you through it. So, King Leopold II is going to be placed on trial for his crimes in the Congo. He's accused of extortion, so that's stealing wealth through force, slavery, murder, and the torture of the Congolese. Another thing that I'm going to add to this too is that he is responsible, at least in accusation, of all the things that are wrong in the Congo today. Your job will either be to defend him, saying he's not guilty of these items, or to prosecute, meaning finding him guilty of these crimes by questioning a witness who has some knowledge of events. Okay. You're going to create the dialogue between a lawyer and a witness. So as the lawyer, you have to think, what point am I trying to prove? Okay. What will prove King Leopold's innocence? What will prove his guilt? Okay. Who do I want to talk to based on what I want to prove? Okay. You're going to use your notes in order to decide who you think will best prove your point. You must have 5 to 6 questions and answers. So you can't ask 3 questions and provide 3 answers and have that be enough. It has to be 3 questions or 5 to 6 questions and answers. You may call more than one witness, but there is a minimum of 1. So you have to at least call up one person to the stand. Okay. Now, if you're having difficulty with the 5 to 6 questions, you might want to pull up another witness. And then that way you'll have 3 questions and answers for one witness, 3 questions and answers for the second witness. Witnesses must make sense for your side. A lot of this project is going to be based on logic. So it has to make sense. You have to call somebody who makes sense to your side. If you're defending King Leopold, it's not best to bring up somebody living in the Congo. Why? Well, if their hand was cut off because of their, not reaching their rubber quotas, and their hand was cut off in the name of King Leopold II, they're not going to have very nice things to say about King Leopold II. Their answers have to make sense for them as well. And for that I use that same excuse, right? That they're not going to say wonderful things about King Leopold II. Likewise, if you were to bring King Leopold II up as a witness, you can't have him admitting to all of these terrible things. That's just not something that historically he would do. Historically, he said he was there for humanitarian reasons, bringing education and medicine and civilization to the poor Congolese. He maintained that till his death. So having him admit to that guilt is not logical. Okay. Now, You have a whole list of possible witnesses. You can use King Leopold II, David Livingstone, Henry Morton Stanley, Joseph Conrad, and Morel. There are other items, those are people who are all on your note sheet, but you can pick somebody living in the Congo who is not, but you have enough knowledge about what their life was like. You can use a Belgian citizen, so somebody who saw the wealth that the King Leopold got out of the Congo, but didn't necessarily ever go to the Congo and see what conditions were. You can choose somebody else as well if you have a good enough reason to do so. If you have questions about that, just reach out to me. I'm happy to okay somebody if you have someone else you think will prove your point. Make sure you're using your notes in the video to answer your questions. There should be enough there. Now, with this, the easier one to do would be to prosecute King Leopold II. It's just easier, but you don't have to do that, right? To find him guilty of these items. I put down some helpful hints. It's a good idea to ask questions establishing who your person is before asking questions that prove the guilt or innocence of King Leopold. Okay? Let the court know who you're talking to and what their role in the story was. So you don't just want to ask a Congolese person who cut off your hand, right? You should lead up to that question, right? Like, so what was your role in the colony? Oh, I was a rubber worker. My job was to collect rubber, right? Then you maybe ask questions. Hey, I noticed you don't have a hand. Is that what happened? How did you lose your hand? And then have the person relate their story. You can set up with your questions who this person is, what their role was within the Congo, and what their relation is to King Leopold, right? Remember, it's helpful to think about what point you want to prove before you pick your witness and what you want to talk about. Now, if you choose the defense of King Leopold, you're going to need to place blame elsewhere. There aren't that many easy ways to prove that he didn't do what he did. There's too much history there, so I would say that you need to blame other people. Maybe you blame the Belgian officers, that they were not, like King Leopold really didn't know what was going on, so is not responsible. Maybe you can blame somebody like Mobutu, who later on could have caused all the problems that you see in the Congo. That's up to you if you choose to defend. Now, the second page is what you're going to actually have to fill out. The very first thing you're going to tell me is whether or not you're defending or prosecuting King Leopold II. So if you're defending, that means you have to show that he's not guilty. If you're prosecuting, you're saying that he is guilty. The next step is to tell me who your witness is. If you have more than one, you have to put both down here. And then when you go to this section, you need to tell me which witness is answering. That way it is without a doubt clear who is talking. This is all set up. This is the questions that you're going to place next to the lawyer's name. The witness would provide the answers. Okay, and you need to have 5. There's an optional 6th one there if you need it. Okay, you are just writing the script. The script will be due Monday. Okay, on Monday I'll give you the second part of the instructions. If you have questions, please reach out. I'm happy to help. All right. Good luck, guys, and hopefully I'll be seeing you either at Zoom meetings or at the very least next week I'll get to see your videos. All right. Talk to you guys soon. Bye.